Alright, so we are now at the step in the order to cash business workflow to create the sales order. In our previous step, we created an end item master that we could now add to our sales order to set up a live order in the system. So let's go do that. So we're back in sales. As you can see on the workflow, we're back in the sales swim lane and to create sales order. So this generally happens either in the customer support or sales department. Your company may have different rules on who can enter a sales order. So we'll go sales, manage sales orders. So we'll go ahead and say new sales orders. It's asking who's the salesperson and then who's the customer. So in this demonstration, we've been using Henry Logistics. So I'm going to create the sales order. It's assigned an order number for us here, and all the defaults are coming in from the customer. Now, the customer in most cases will supply a customer purchase order number. So we're going to enter an order number that would come from them. And this is where, as a salesperson, you're setting the terms. What's the tax method? Are we charging sales tax, or you, in your case, are you selling? Who's the customer service rep? Is there any reference number that should be mentioned? Or I'll do contract 1050. How am I going to ship it? Lots of people like this one best way. That just allows your shipping department to make the decision. But if you want a specific carrier, you can choose it there. Where are you going to supply this order from? From your primary facility. So this control code idea, you have the ability to enter a sales order but not allow it to ship for whatever reason. Maybe you're waiting on pricing. Maybe you haven't received the customer PO yet. You just don't want to ship it. You want to stop it from being able to ship. Credit hold's another reason, or order hold. This just allows your sales team to block an item from shipment if they need to wait on additional data to come from the customer. In this case, it defaults to OK to ship, which will allow us to go ahead and send that out. Gives you the option to select the customer contact if there's additional contact here, and then set the date needed. So if you reviewed the quote workflow step with us, we put in our quote that we are going to use May 1st as the need date, and then ship FedEx ground on customer account number 123456. So these are just order comments, and I'll show you where those come in later. So a good rule of thumb when you're working in BAP365 is when you're done with a tab, go ahead and save the record and then move on to the next tab. So now we're going to add a line item. So in the previous step, we created an item for an item master record for a shippable item. So it was this HLOG001. So here we go. And we are going, next thing the system wants to know is how much are you charging for this item? So your customer PO will probably spell that out. So we're going to say it's $150 per item. And based on our research, our costs are $89.95. And then customer PO line 1, ship FedEx on customer account. All right. You can set a sales commission if you choose. So we're going to do a 2% sales commission. And we are going to ship 500 of these by May 1st. And then delivery comments are here as well. Okay. Just to let you know, ship line item comments show up and are viewable by the customer. Delivery comments are viewable by your shipping department. So if you want to tell your shipping department something specific, you can put it in the delivery comments. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and add this line. So that's our current total. So as mentioned, every time you finish a tab, you click save. And then you'll see you have your one line item here as well. So that's all I need to do in this case. And so now I'm going to, you notice that the order status is still new. So it's not a firm order until you book the order. And then once you book the order, it becomes available as a live order. So we'll look at the item summary screen on a different step. But just to so that you see the open order we just created, there's now 500 of this item due on May 1st, 2025, as we set up in the sales order. And the current status of this item right now is you have none on hand and you have none on order. So your materials or production team has work to do to now support this order as you've created. And that follows the standard business flow. Usually sales enters the sales order, and then the team gets together, create a bill of materials, upload that to the system, purchasing starts bringing in raw material, and production will start to assemble and test that item. So this completes the creation of a sales order. So once the order is booked, you can then view the document as shown here. So here's the sales order. Here's our sales order number for this customer. Here's the order date, which is today's date. Here's those notes that I mentioned are viewable by the customer. And this is just a summary of what the order has been put together. You can email this document to your customer. So in this case, Henry Ralph is our logistics customer in this case. If I click send, that will send off to him. So that completes the creation of a sales order.